Why is this poverty? Because they exploit people. I'm not a communist, I'm not a Marxist. There is some truth in the exploitation. A lot of people try to exploit other people for their own good, selfish interest. This is the basic principle. Poverty need not be there, quite frankly. If things are organized in the right way economically, then there should not be any poverty. India is a very poor country. Even then, people are coming up in standard of living. A lot of people are below the poverty line. A lot of people have come up, crossed the poverty line also. This is happening all the day in and day out. And yet there are certain farmers who are committing suicide because they don't have any water to irrigate the land. That also is happening at the same time. But this is because the government is there in that particular states engaged in other things and not giving themselves any attention to that. If they did, this would not happen. This again is a question of mental. Knowledge, which is ignorance. So poverty is something it has to be addressed, definitely. But it is done on a very wide scale, economically, politically, and I will say psychologically. Because I don't care if there are poor people, quite frankly. There are people in Pondicherry who say, oh, they're living on the street, let them do it. I've got a motorcycle. Now this is again ego. I don't think of anybody else, I think of myself only. This is again a psychological, spiritual problem. Because spirit is a fundamental reality, God is a fundamental reality. Whatever people may say, nobody can actually blot God out of existence. He just is. Call it God, call it absolute, call it whatever you like. But there is some being, some force, some power, which is of the spiritual variety or kind, and it is. Everything is a manifestation of that. In the process of manifestation, because of human ego, things have gone wrong. Fall of man. A very great image, that. But as Sachin interprets by saying Adam is soul, spiritual soul, and Eve is nature, you were attracted by nature and got into caught by it. Temptation. But there's an image, poetic image. The truth is this. So how is it that I don't get snared by nature, but I use nature to develop? My nature is both bad and good at the same time. Everybody is a mixture. So this mixture will have to be sorted out. So those things which create the mixture, the elements will remain, but without conflict with each other. This is again yoga. You come to a certain basic psychological discipline by which this can be done. So I'm talking of yoga on a very low level, so to speak. As a human problem, how to solve those things. It can bring myself to God, with union with the divine, and so on and so forth. It may, and it does. But today, the problem of humanity can be addressed only by a new psychology, which is more harmonious, which sees the reasons for conflict and see how the way to resolve the conflict. This new knowledge has to be there in a collective way, not just individually. I will give an example if you have got time. There's a place called Sarnath, about 800 miles or a little less than north of Varanasi. And the Buddha first preached a sermon there. It's a great pilgrimage for Buddhists. Hindus also flock there. I once happened to be there with some friends. They were talking about this place and so on and so forth. A Burmese monk who is Buddhist just passed, very slowly and gradually. He looked at us. We're all completely saturated with peace. Actual concrete peace which felt like ice without a discomfort. The whole body went completely cool. Not cold, but cool. The man only looked at us, did nothing. He had got this peace within himself. He can radiate it. is my own concrete experience. Even now I can recover the experience if I wish to. Concentrate on that experience, I can still get it. So much power is there in the peace. He's a Burmese monk, he's not a Hindu, he's a Buddhist. But he was a yogi. He developed this other conflict within himself, completely resolved them. He had no conflict within himself, and therefore he got peace. Peace is not a negative thing. I'm talking of yoga here. Peace is a positive value, not merely want of conflict, of struggle within yourself, whatever, but it is actually speaking a positive reality and a value. A lot of people don't have problems in life, but they are not at peace, either with themselves or with others. Now this you can find out and discover by yoga and habit yourself. If you did that, you won't have conflict with other people. You're very tolerant, very patient, you will know why they're doing what they're doing. You will not even judge them, not criticize them. How to develop that? Find yourself that focus, that center in you, which gives you peace, which is inherent in it, and therefore the conflicts will not be there. I'm talking in terms of practical psychology. So human unity will also have to be basically a psychological demand by humanity, that we want unity, aspire for it, sincerely, honestly. And the psychological demand will bring about conditions in outer life which will foster human unity.